Sydney's number one podcast, West Underground.
Hello and welcome to another episode of West Underground. Today we have none other than Billy Darcy, the man himself. He's here on the couch. He's joining us in person.
Mrs. Darcy's baby boy.
Yep, that's my new moniker.
Yeah.
Rebrand is on Mrs. Darcy's baby boy.
I can see it on posters, man, everywhere. We've all got sunglasses on because I think there's a few hangovers in here today. We're hungover, you're hungover.
Yeah, it's a Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. Traditionally a day of rest for me.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
I've come out to Condell Park to record.
Is that how you say it?
Condell?
Is that how you say it?
Let's just say Bankstown.
Bankstown.
Yeah.
Well, I'm out in the southwest working on the Lord's Day, hungover for you boys.
Thank you. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Your commitment to the Sabbath is unmatched.
Yeah, exactly.
We tried to get Billy in last week, and then his car had a bit of a mishap.
It just ran out of registration.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went on holiday, and then when I came back, it turned out my car was actually unregistered for like 3 weeks.
Allegedly, it's a joke. You can't get him.
Yeah, dead set. But yeah, it's quite stressful, my car, because it's like 20 years old.
Yeah.
It's like I had to like spray paint over the rust and stuff. But I've got like a dodgy guy who just passes it.
Yeah, they're good. Those people aren't they? You give them money.
Yeah, all he did was check the lights. Like they don't even turn the car on. It's fucking unreal. He was like laughing when I brought it in.
Plug?
Yeah.
Could you write his name and number down? Because I think our editor he needs to get his car registered. They won't pass it for him.
Why didn't you get a new car for your birthday? So Hugh, our editor's just turned 21, and he looks 40, but he's just turned 21. You should ask for a car.
So a little backstory here. He's got a 2000s Astra that he loves, right? And they won't register it anymore for him. They said no, this is a shit box.
This is death. This is a death trap. You love it, or you get on with it.
He told me if he became a millionaire, all he wants to spend his money on is putting monster truck wheels on a Holden Astra.
Yep. That's the sort of thing a 7-year-old would say.
I want to make it a monster truck.
Yeah, I love it when people don't update their dreams.
Yeah. Yeah, do you have you put it in your diary, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're manifesting things and you think, I could change it, but it's already written down.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's leave that there.
It's like, I got a mate who's a PE teacher. He's like, mate, I just play sport all day. It's so sick. And it's like, yeah, we used to do that when we were 12.
Yeah.
Then we became adults, mate.
What
Stop
did you-
kicking a footy with 7-year-olds.
What
It's
was your
weird.
dream when you were a kid? Did you want to be a fireman or any?
My dream was to play cricket for Australia.
Yeah.
Really?
That was my dream, yeah. And I frothed on cricket so hard.
Yeah.
That was like my number one dream. So comedy is like a plan
It's way
B.
down there.
It's like a plan B dream.
Yeah.
Like it'd be nice, but I'm already down one dream.
So, but backstory here, for filling a bit of knowledge.
Yeah.
You actually were quite good at cricket. You went and played for overseas and stuff.
Yeah, I was good enough, but also not good enough.
What held you back?
Talent or lack thereof.
Yeah.
No, but I was pretty good at cricket, but then you get to 18 and then I just stopped getting better. And then people just become absolute guns.
Yeah.
I remember I was playing grade cricket with this guy, Jack Edwards, who plays for the Sydney Sixers now.
Yeah.
And I remember we both got 50 odd each, and I was 17 and he was 13, and I remember thinking he was better than me.
Yeah.
And he was only 13. That, and that's how good these guys are.
13.
Yeah, he's just such a weapon, dude. I remember thinking, fuck, this kid's a wep. I'm not even better than him, and he's fucking 13.
Yeah, but I mean that's hard to take, isn't it?
Tough pill to swallow.
It really is.
How'd you get into cricket as a kid? Because like I grew up in New South Wales, man. It's fucking hot in the summer. Like, and then you're going out there, you're playing the
Shout out to
whole
Bo.
your Sundays, six, like, you know, your weekends gone.
Yeah, well, all like as a kid, all summers, I would play all day Saturday, all day Sunday.
Mm.
But I don't know, like we just like loved it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like you just get obsessed with stuff when you're a kid.
yeah. No,
But now, like obviously looking back, you're thinking like, what the fuck?
yeah,
But also when I was like 11, 12, 13, I'm not missing out on like fucking Huey's 21st or anything.
No.
yeah.
You know, the lads aren't going to Bali. We're fucking 13.
Yeah.
You know,
You're outside.
There's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I'd just be like playing Ratchet and Clank if I wasn't playing cricket. So
Yeah.
may as well get out to Bankstown in 42-degree weather. And
Get out there in your whites.
Yeah, long pants. Good call. Whoever
It's
started that.
It's so funny to hear like people talk about cricket because I just don't get it. Like you're over here, everyone seems to play cricket. In the UK, it's the people with a bit of money play cricket.
Yeah, it's a bit more posh in the UK. I played.
I think it's because of the white clothes. To be honest,
yeah.
Who's got the time?
I definitely get cricket though if you live in like England because it'd be cold. But I like because I grew up in Dubbo, Billy. Like it was fucking. If you played cricket, you were out there trying to fucking swat the flies.
Yeah, I know what you
It was
mean.
You versus the flies.
I've got beautiful Irish skin as well. I actually don't do that well in the sun.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, dude, literally.
you're kidding.
Yeah, I know.
So would you white up? With the sun cream?
I'd
full
sun
cream
and then zinc over the top.
Nice,
The whole
nice,
deal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that didn't work out. That was my original dream. My actual dream when I was 6 was to play soccer and cricket for Australia at the same time.
Mm.
Yeah. Huey's laughing. Shut the fuck up, Huey. It's called reaching for the moon, you piece of shit.
Yeah. Something you'd never do.
Yeah.
Your monster truck tires.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
But then I realized that's impossible. So then it was just cricket, and then I realized it wasn't good enough for cricket. So,
Yeah.
And then it was comedy.
Nice, man.
So what's next?
I don't know. Probably something a bit more attainable. Like, I think my next dream might be like HR rep.
Yeah. Shout out to all the good HR reps out there doing a great job.
Oath.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
I reckon you'd be good at bringing like conflict resolution strategies to the table. You know, when Steve doesn't get on with Greg.
Oh yeah, I'd love HR because I'm for the people. You know, I'd be out there with the unions picketing. I feel like some HR departments are like more like they're like snitches.
Yeah.
You should be on our side, not
Yeah.
fucking snitching.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are taking 11-minute coffee breaks. It's only supposed to be 10. You're supposed to be on my side, mate.
Yeah.
Human resources. I'm the fucking human.
Yeah,
you
I'm
know?
a human. Be the resource.
Be the resource.
That's what Nelson Mandela said. Oh, it's what Gandhi said.
Yeah.
Be the resource you want to see in the
Imagine
world.
that in a HR meeting. They're the humans. You be the resource.
How can I be resourceful to you today? Yeah.
Yeah, so it might be a corporate rebrand for me next.
I could see you going corporate. Have you done any corporate gigs, comedy gigs?
I've done an end of financial year party once.
That's good.
Yeah.
Dude, I've never done so much cocaine in my life. Dude, these little nerds in ties, when they let the dogs out,
Yeah.
there was plenty going on.
Yeah.
Fucking vibrated out of there, dude. Like, so they were accountants, so I didn't see it coming. But yeah,
Plenty of money there.
yeah, I guess
they
so.
need something to spend it on.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Give them a bit of personality as well.
You getting lit. I did my tax return last week, and
How are we looking?
it good, but it cost $250 to do it, and I went, that's a funny amount, isn't it? Yeah, we know what you're spending that money on, Tom.
Yeah,
Drugs,
yeah,
getting lit with the boys.
yeah. Jesus Christ.
Don't you reckon? Like, I reckon if the corporate world put all that money to like real problems, we could probably get a lot done instead of.
Yeah,
them
but
having
that's
good
not as
Friday,
fun, is it?
Saturday night.
Really?
No, I'm
You'd
not,
rather.
but I always-
Was it a good paying gig?
I think they paid us in cocaine.
Oh really? Yeah.
No, I think we got like free drinks and like $50 or something. It wasn't well paid.
No.
No. But it was fucking fun. We were there till like 4 a.m.
They were like, you can leave, and you're like, fuck that.
Yeah. You can, this is
I'm in it for the ride.
This is my per diems. I'm trying to fucking bump the fee up a bit.
4 a.m. the next day, or
Yeah. Like,
You done a full sesh.
yeah.
You weren't leaving.
There was a
They
bit
were
going
They're
on.
like, can you please leave? And you're like, no,
Yeah. I clearly thought I was the life of the party, but
Mrs. Darcy's baby boy goes
Yeah.
nowhere.
dude, this guy did like fucking 7 minutes of comedy 6 hours ago, and he's still here. But yeah, no, that's the only really corporate thing with corporate gigs is they fucking suck. So you don't really want to do them unless the money's like crazy.
Yeah, I didn't do one, Taxman, but I did one, and it was good paying, but it was weird.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
you got to give your piece of your soul in exchange for a couple grand. Or
Yeah, like it's not. I didn't do that, but that's how it feels, and you just do it because you go, it pays for this.
The
You know what I
loosest
mean?
gig I've ever played though was for the police.
You played a gig for the police.
Yeah, they're like New South Wales police, right?
Well, like at the end of year thing.
yeah, and
Sick.
they
For Sting.
drank. I think they had like 10 grand on the bar tab. Drank the whole thing, and they
Taxpayer
get
money.
wild, right? And security are trying to like control them because they can't even walk.
They're like, stop
they're
it,
like-
or we'll call the U on you.
Yeah.
And they're like, don't touch me. I'm a cop, you know, and all this. But
Yeah.
they were just so sloshed. I've never seen anything like it before in my life.
Mate, well, fuck.
I wanted to be a cop when I was a kid. That's what I wanted to be. And
Really?
it's quite funny. You know the Eddie Murphy line in Beverly Hills Cop where he's like, I've never broke the law, I've just fractured a couple.
That's good.
Is how it
yeah,
feels
yeah.
about me
Yeah.
if I was ever going to be a cop.
I was thinking the other day, right, when we were growing up, because we're all about the same age, it was like a great thing to be a cop, right? There was all these movies.
Not in
and,
Liverpool.
like, maybe not, but you know, there was all those like cop movies that kind of came out, and then like the best shows on like Channel 7 were like all the cop shows.
Yep.
And
NCIS,
then,
that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
all like in the last couple of years, everyone has turned the back. Now no one wants to be a cop. You're right, because of everything that's kind of happened in the world. But when I was a kid, it was like a good thing to be a police officer.
Have you watched that new season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine? The latest season?
Segue on. No, but I do love Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I love it, but so obviously this is a pandemic and George Floyd and all that shit that went on, right? And they are a cop show that is aware of the fact that nobody likes the police at the minute.
Yep.
So they reference it a lot. It's like heavy on it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I can understand their thing of, well, who the fuck's going to want to watch the show if everyone's saying defund the police?
Yeah. They did an episode where Terry got like arrested because
Yeah,
he was black.
yeah.
And it was actually like pretty full on.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Whoa.
Do you think?
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Do you-
Whoa.
Yeah.
Do you think the best comedy shows when like we were growing up on like free to air TV, Billy, were like all the police shows and current affair?
The best comedy shows.
Yeah, like you'd watch what's that called, like the RBT one where they're like interviewing the most like fried people, and then you'd watch like current affair where they used to like have like a show like the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
It was great for like 10 years. Super solid. Channel 7, Channel 9.
Is this a plug for Channel 7, Channel 9?
There's a lot of Seven Mate action. You know Seven Mate?
Yeah,
The channel? Yeah, like that'll be a lot of RBT stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Like that stuff's just sort of like just anti-anxiety medication, really. You can just watch some bloke who's a bigger loser than you
Yeah.
and just sort of fucking enjoy it.
Yeah, well,
You
like,
know?
like as a kid, it was just like it was
That's
just
that's
good.
your plans for tonight, sorted, Hugh. Monster truck wheels.
I went to a party like here a couple of years ago in the Bankstown area, and there was this one guy, and he was like his claim to fame was telling people that he was on an episode of RBT where he got his license confiscated. That was like his
Well-
spotlighting moment.
I mean, it is sort of 5 minutes on national telly. Some people are fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, if you handle it well, if I saw the camera in my face, I'm immediately thinking, all right, we might be losing our license here, but let's not lose the plot.
yeah.
You know?
I
Like,
think you'd be doing a set.
I'd get a couple of one-liners in.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd plug as I'm getting like thrown in the back, I'd be like, Canberra, June 24, link in my Instagram bio.
I don't know how I'm going to get there.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah,
Fucking follow me on TikTok. Like, I get a couple in.
yeah.
You know, use the time. Also, I don't know who these people are, who they think they are, where they're like they're already getting to lose their life. Like, I feel like if you're blind behind the wheel, it's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then they get the number. It's like the numbers have fucked you here. It's not like a subjective thing. This is objective. You're over the limit. So these people that carry on afterwards, So ballsy.
Oh yeah, I had one beer about 4 hours ago, and they're fucking 50 times over the limit.
It's so ballsy to be like, just be like the machine is wrong. It's like it's not.
And there's always a part at the end of the episode where they interview the person who's just had their license confiscated because they're 15 times over the limit, and they're like, "Oh, so what have you learned here?" And he's like, "Oh, maybe I should have some waters." You know, in the
I'll be honest, I'll lost my license, but yeah, it was probably the right thing.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely fucking blind.
it's almost just as good as a footy speech. You know, when they like those kind of like footy speeches are just notoriously always bad.
What you mean, like
Like the same kind of concept where they give the mic like that, and they're like, "Oh, so how was the game tonight?"
Yeah, it was
oh
good.
yeah,
Footy
the
interviews.
boys played well.
Yeah,
No,
Yeah,
more
but
than
they
that.
have to. They have to media train the rugby league players into next week, because every time they go off script, it's something horrific. Like the one time a player went off script last season was that Sharks guy, and he said he was going to go down to whatever that pub is and like nail a 3 out of 10. He said, I'm going to have like 6 million beers and like hook up with a 3. And it's like, yes, that's why they got to stick to the script.
yeah. I think it's
Because,
like
like-
that is better though.
It is better.
I prefer it. Jordan Henderson, the Liverpool captain, every week he's like, "Wow, the support was amazing. The crowd was there. We played really well. Mo was fantastic, really good. Like, and it's just fucking the same."
Yeah.
And Jordan, I'm sorry, but you're killing me, man.
Dude, that's
You're
why.
fucking killing me.
Yeah, and I like with all this stuff with rugby league players, soccer players and stuff. Well, they've got to say the right thing, mate. It's not their job to parent your fucking
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
Let this
100%.
bloke go off on the mic, and if your kid turns out crap, it's your fault. It's
Yeah.
not Jordan Henderson's.
Yeah,
You know, parents are like, how could he say that? My son looks up to you.
yeah.
Your son.
It's an athlete, so what? Like,
Yeah.
why do you have to be a role model as well? You know what I mean?
Dude, 100%. He's like, it's not their responsibility.
No.
Yeah,
Be a good
100%.
bloke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be a good bloke.
Yeah.
But you don't have to like be so cookie cutter with the responses.
Yeah.
Like that's why the UFC is funny, because like they're the only truly unfiltered athletes.
Well, yeah, because they're getting slapped in the face all the time, and then
Yeah.
it's like, "What do you think?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kill him." They're not gonna be like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah, but like,
we could be friends."
why does the UFC fighter? Why is it not his responsibility? There's so many like teenage boys that watch the UFC.
You're a big fan of the UFC, aren't you, Billy?
Yeah, I love the UFC. Yeah.
Is that like, were you always a fan, or was that a lockdown thing because there was nothing else
No,
to do?
it was a lockdown thing.
I was the same,
It
man.
was the only thing. I also got heaps into rugby league that year.
Yeah.
Because it was the only sport on.
Yeah.
There were some weekends where I watched all 8 games of rugby league.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like not even that into it.
I feel like you are if you watch 8 games.
Just before we go into like the
Yeah.
UFC deep dive, I reckon, Billy, what's your take on it? Like, how do they like media train rugby league stars? Do you reckon when they're in the green room, there's a person who comes down into the like a corporate cut type figure, and they're like, "Repeat after me, guys. If you ask any questions tonight, bring it back to boys."
I would say they would have like central themes that they want to promote, like teamwork, like, you know, this sort of stuff. I don't know, like being
Like,
positive.
how do they do it?
That's another one.
They
Like,
would have like some PR person tell them like
when they score and they're like, "Oh, you know, good to get the goal," and it's like, "Yeah, I don't mind as long as the team wins."
Yeah.
That's.
I love it when a guy scores like 3 tries and like 5 conversions. They win like 30-0 and he scored like every point, and he's like, couldn't have done it without the team. And it's like, but you could have.
You did.
the age-old lad.
You were much better than everyone
There's
else.
there's no I in team.
Yeah, there's an I in win. That's what you just did. You just fucking won. Like, I just a bit more transparency. I wish some guy would just get on the mic. It's like, "Oh, mate, you were player of the match. Congratulations. How do you feel about the game?" I just wish some guy would get on there and be like, "I was unbelievable today.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Jesus, what about the passengers behind me? You're welcome, lads."
I'd
You
prefer
know?
that. I would prefer that.
It'd be so good.
My back's a little bit sore from carrying you fuckers.
Yeah. All aboard the fucking bus. I'll take us all the way to the premiership by myself. Like, you guys suck. Bump up my pay.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think of, like, as we get into UFC, what do you think of, and like also being too honest about your feelings, Andrew Tate and that whole,
Oh, yeah, okay. So I was actually thinking about this week.
yeah.
He seems to be
So this
everywhere.
Andrew Tate thing, probably absolute clown. But I was thinking, if you take out his views on women and relationships and like sex and all of that stuff,
Yeah.
then it's really just a lot of like motivational gym quotes that aren't really that harmful.
Yeah.
But they're like
You've got to take a lot out though.
You'll watch a video. You've really got to cherry pick with this guy. He's like, because he'll be like the guy who only goes to the gym when he feels like it will always be beaten by the guy who goes every day, no matter how he feels. And you go, yeah, this guy's making a lot of sense. And he goes, women are our property, and if they get raped, it's their fault. And you're like, oh, okay, you lost me. We're off. Okay, yeah. Like you just, but then me and my mate, my roommate, because I only just watched a few of his videos this week, and he said this thing where, like, he goes, these men who've had sex with like 5 women. I try to date these women who've had sex with like 100 guys. He goes, they can't control these haughty bitches. These chicks are running through dick like crazy. Like, he's always talking about these like fictional situations.
Yeah.
Me and my roommate are just pissing ourselves. Like,
He's got such a fucking weird voice.
yeah, it's the weirdest accent. But we were literally crying laughing, like just like how over the top and ridiculous this guy is. But then I saw this post about how like damaging it is, and like instilling misogyny in like teenage boys and stuff. And I was thinking, if I was 16, would I be laughing?
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
That's where I think it gets a bit slippery with like 15, 16-year-old boys. Because like some of the stuff he's saying about women is just fucked. Like you can't treat them that way.
Yeah.
But I know that because I'm an adult.
Yeah.
But if I was 14, would I be like going up to chicks at a 15th house party being like, listen up, bitch? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Would you?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Listen up, bitch.
yeah.
One thing that he said was quite funny is he said that he had a Bugatti that was stolen, and he called the cops, and the cops came, and then they were like to him, "Oh, we can't chase your car because we actually have somebody we have a trace unit, and they're busy at the moment." And he goes, "Well, I asked them, could I ring up my friend to bring over the Ferrari and chase them to get my Bugatti?" And they're like, "Oh, we're going to have to put you on arrest. We can't have you do that." And then he went on this big rant about how like England's fucked. And I was like, I agree with that. You know, you should be able to fucking chase your own car, right? If it's stolen.
Yeah. No, like pretty much any time he's not talking about women, it's like kind of funny.
Yeah.
He's got this like charisma.
Yeah.
But then like, yeah, it's like every 5 minutes he'll just say something that's like a genuine hate crime. And you're like, all right, we'll just let that one go through to the keeper. And then you're like,
Yeah. He's like a racist grandparent, isn't he?
yeah.
You know what I mean? You go, but it's still me nan.
Yeah. And he gets like so fired up about all these like fictional situations. He's like, if we're in a plane that's crashing to the ground, would you want a male or a female pilot? And it's like, this is all very much like by the by. You know what I mean? Like, if we were in a blue room in the middle of the desert with 1 cup of water and there was a woman hanging from the fucking roof, would you eat her to survive? Like, and you're like, I mean, maybe. Like, it's like, see, they're dumb bitches, and it's like, what just happened? Like,
Yeah.
like there's just a lot going on with that guy. But I think it's fucking hilarious. Like,
I think.
but then like, it's like I was saying though, like, yeah, I'm just worried that 15-year-old guys are watching it and not laughing.
Yeah. And
You
they're
know?
they're like, have you seen Andrew Tate? He's got a bloody good point.
Yeah. It's like,
if I was on an island, I would eat her.
yeah.
Oh, it's quite like. What the fuck was
Do you
that?
reckon he's playing the media? He for sure is. I reckon he's just taken what Kanye did and what Trump did, and like that idea of being the villain. And because he knows what he's doing, right? Because it's like he comes out, says all this horrendous shit. Everyone goes wild on TikTok, and everyone now knows his name because he's just said a bunch of fucking cracked shit.
I never knew who the fuck it was until this week.
Yeah, well, I knew about him for a few weeks, but it's like when Squid Game's popular and you just go, can I be fucked with this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, I watched a couple of his videos, but
Do you know what he's doing though, Billy? Like he's done this thing where he's called it Hustlers University, right?
yeah, I've heard of this.
So people that like 15-year-olds that think Andrew Tate's got a point, right? They now pay to join his course, Hustlers University, where they pay to share his content on their own YouTube channels.
Yeah, that's how he got so big. Is everyone to do his course, you have to post a video of one of his clips on like YouTube and TikTok.
Yeah.
So that's how he just flooded the algorithm
Yeah.
with all this Andrew Tate stuff.
He's a fucking marketing genius. Call him what you want, but like for that thing, because he went from being a Romanian casino owner and like and a kickboxing
Hold
star.
on. What do casinos in Romania look like?
I don't know. Ask Andrew Tate.
Yeah. He's also a kickboxing world champion,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool. I don't know. I've watched like 10 minutes of him on YouTube, and then like I've just had my fill.
Yeah.
I've moved on.
Yeah.
But dude, like it would be so fun if you were just like, I truly don't give a fuck about the implications of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because that guy just goes nuts on podcasts, dude. He's like the best podcast guest ever.
Yeah.
If you want like, I hope we get some good clips.
Yeah.
And Andrew Tate comes on. Every 2 minutes he says something fucking shocking.
Fucking West.
Absolutely wild. That guy-
Worse than what he just said before.
He's like the new Alex Jones.
Yeah. But like, did you see Alex Jones just got sued and lost to parents of the Sandy Hook massacre because he said that the shooting was fake and the parents were actors?
Oh my God.
Imagine your kid gets gunned down in a school and someone says he was never real.
Yeah.
Some fat Texan going, your son never existed. You're a Hollywood fake. You're a plant. And you just got to stand there and
Fucking
take
hell.
it as if you wouldn't sue the shit out of him. He has to pay them $41 million.
Good.
Do you reckon? he
Fucking
played-
good. It's so ridiculous. That Sandy Hook thing was so. Have you? And like, I remember it was like on YouTube, and it was like, "Have you seen this person before?" Yes, you have. They were also at the Uvalde shooting or whatever. And you're like, "Is it the same
But
person?"
Alex Jones is another one. But I would say you have to cherry pick even harder with him.
Yeah, because he
But-
says some shit that's right.
But if you get into Alex Jones, when he's on like Joe Rogan, it's like aliens are here, fucking the government's corrupt, this is great, and like then he'll just be like, children should have AR-15s on them at all times. And you're like, oh, we'll let that one go. Aliens, oh, this is fun again. And then like, the Sandy Hook didn't happen. We'll let that one go, Alex. And they're like, you just got to fucking, these guys just
wild.
swing so
Yeah.
wild. Like,
But the thing is with like Alex, right? He does have an inch of credibility because he brought out like the like he was the first guys on like the Epstein thing, and he was also the guy that was on the what's it called, where the presidents go to their secret camp and they
Camp David.
no
the Illuminati?
no well
Will they
yeah.
all wear like goat's heads and fuck each other or whatever?
Yeah, but it has a name now, and it's been proven to be like a place in California where they would go to for like
Yeah.
That's where you were, wasn't it? You dirty
Yeah.
perv.
and it's like a camp for them, and now it's come out to be true, and the place has been revealed, and it's all been leaked, and like to the point now where Vice has done a big thing on it, and like all the journalists out, and it's out in the public and released now. But Alex Jones was talking about it fucking years ago, be like, there's a place where the government goes to fuck each other and have all these kind of wild parties. I honestly reckon if Winfield Red had a voice, it would sound like him.
Is AOC going to this place? Because if she's going, I'm game.
Oh,
Like, I'm
yeah,
down
dude.
for that.
AOC's a little baddie, dude.
Bro, she's everything I want in a woman.
Yeah.
Sorry, Abby. I'm sorry.
Dude, that video of her where she's like, she's absolutely given it to Congress. She's like, would you say da-da-da-da-da is factually correct? And like some 7-year-old guy's like, yes. And she's like, and would you say that would then imply da-da-da-da? And he's like, yes. And she's just giving it to him.
Yeah.
And I'm just fucking barred up going, this is a woman. This
Yeah.
is someone we can all get behind.
You know,
this
if
is,
I'd be
what a
a-
human.
I'd be a house husband.
Oh,
Like,
dude,
100%. I'd be
I'd
like, what
be
do
her
you,
pet.
I'd be like, what do you need?
Yeah.
What do you need me to do?
100%.
You socialist queen.
Put a fucking apron on me, babe. I'm here to assist.
How may I resource you?
Yeah. You're the human. I'm the resource.
Oh, fucking hell. She's a sexy woman.
God.
It makes me laugh, like, the way Rogan calls her, like, a crazy bitch and all. He's like, that fucking crazy bitch is gone. I'm like, man, you shut your mouth about my AOC.
Dude, 100%. Plus, don't you want a little crazy? You know?
Yeah.
I want some chick fucking absolutely giving it to politicians. That's awesome.
Yeah. They're the ones who, get out there, give them
So,
a hard time.
I reckon, also, there's nothing more attractive than talent.
Talent and power. There's something about a powerful woman.
Power, okay.
Yeah.
That might be a little window into what you're into. But,
Yeah.
but
I
dude,
love
yeah.
stockings.
We're just going from talent just to kinks. I like getting choked.
So, hold on a sec. Hold on. Billy's into talent. Jack is into power. Hamish is into a finger up his ass.
Yeah.
Well, I said stockings, but
Yeah, what do you look for in a significance of it?
Like
talent is sexy though.
Talent is so sexy, dude. Like, I bet you like when you see a chick lead singer just smashing it, so good. The same with comedy. Like, if I see a girl go up and do stand up and she crushes, I find it so attractive. But conversely, if she bombs, I find that unattractive.
Oh, do you?
Repulsive.
Yeah, I'm repulsed by incompetence. Dude,
that's a clip, by the way. That's a clip.
Dude, I swear to God, I had a crush on this comedian chick like 5 years ago.
Who was it?
And she doesn't do comedy anymore, but she went and I had a crush.
I wonder why.
I had a crush on her for like 3 months, and then I saw her bomb so hard at the Coogee Bay Hotel. By the time she got off stage, I felt nothing for her.
Yeah.
You know? But it goes both ways, you know?
Yeah. But the comedy's a funny one because didn't mean that. Because someone being funny is attractive anyway.
100%. Yeah.
So,
but I think more just like if a chick is like, this is what I do, and they do it well, and they're like heaps passionate about something, I'm into it.
Yeah.
You know? Just have a thing.
I got to bring this up while I'm on the thought train, right? Alex Milinkovic brought up this thing a couple of weeks ago where he's like, I've talked to a few women that have went and done these like comedy courses, and they tell them not to talk about their pussies in the course. Like, did you know about this, Billy? Like, what is your take
it's an industry
on comedy
policy,
courses?
There was a memo. HR sent out a memo.
No, I don't know who's running that course. I like to publicly say, women, talk about your vaginas as much as you shall wish. You know, go absolutely nuts, or don't talk about it at all.
My body, my choice.
Yep.
Talk about it.
I don't know. Yeah, like I think it's like a stereotype that like hack women comedians only talk about their vagina. But
same with
like
dudes
most,
and
I
the
gig with
dicks
women
though,
all the
isn't
time.
it?
Like most of them don't at all.
Yeah.
And also you can totally like as if male comedians don't talk about their dicks. It's pretty much all they talk about.
Yeah.
You know, it's called art. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're laughing. Yeah. But yeah, the attraction thing is definitely there for the fun. That's why so I went to Comedy Untamed, the Neil show.
Yeah.
I went there like a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
Alex was on, Beck Charwood was on as well. And there was a guy there, and he was on a first date, right? And he was the biggest dickhead ever, right? He was one of them, like, eastern suburbs, tell his old man's fucking tilled on this date, front row, just like drinking his beer, little cocky bastard, right?
Yep.
And he was talking all the way through Alex's set.
So rude.
And Alex stopped 3 times and was like, bro, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Which is just awkward as anything anyway, you know what I mean? But I was there and I was thinking, I hope she's there with him and she's watching these comedians telling jokes and she's thinking, fuck this guy off.
That'll be a win.
I'll pop one of their penises in my mouth tonight. That's what I was hoping.
That's so fucking rude, dude.
It's bad.
Also, at a comedy show, all you have to do is nothing.
Yeah.
You just have to sit there.
It's too much to ask.
Like, it's more effort for you to interrupt the show.
If you could laugh as well, that helps.
Honestly, if you're not into the show, give me deathly silence.
Yeah.
You know, that's my problem to deal with. But, like, just sit there. Just fucking sit there.
Why is comedy so much more funnier when you go to it versus when you watch it on, like, a Netflix special?
Yeah, well, it's live. Like, you know what I mean?
I think it's a live medium.
It's like going to a concert versus watching, like, the video on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. You know, and also, like, comedy is best, like, in the room, like, as far as, like, when you're watching on Netflix, you're just watching the guy do his special, like, basically pressing play on his hour of jokes. Da-da-da-da-da-da. But, like, when you're in the room, you got some eastern suburbs cunt fucking talking to his stupid missus. You know, maybe you do a, like, the other night I did, like, a trans joke, and this woman at the back's like, I have a trans daughter, and this was, like, this whole thing. But it's, like, that's so fun. And it's happening in real time. Yeah. And it's unique to that show. Whereas you don't get that with Netflix.
So was she a daughter? Like, was she born a girl and now become a boy? Or
I think the other way around. I was just trying to, I didn't even get into the bit, but I'm trying to do this bit about trans children in sport. Because it was like, it was in the news for a bit. And then I go, trans children in sport, you know, it's a big issue. I go, and then I was going to do, the bit is kind of like I don't even want to explain it, but like, I didn't even get into it. This woman at the back just goes, I have a trans daughter and she loves playing sport. And then the whole crowd claps because she's got a trans daughter. And then these other women are like, we're primary school teachers and we have trans children in our class and they love sport as well. And then it's like kind of turned into a rally at this point.
Oh, fuck.
And
You're
like,
Andrew Tate?
Yeah, I'm like having an Andrew Tate moment up there. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on.
Oh, my God.
But then like it was, and I didn't really know what to say because I never thought it would come up. Like I've only done the bit once before. Yeah. I wasn't expecting someone to say I have a trans daughter. So I was like, oh, are you serious? And she was like, yes. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was thinking, fuck, how offensive is what I'm about to say, actually? And then...
Was she like, has she got a good arm on her? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
It is a bit unfair, though, in terms of, like, combat sports, right? Because it's like if I was because, I mean, I'm not a good fighter, right? But
he's a great fighter.
But I might be a great fighter if I did women's boxing, right? Because you just have extra strength, and I've had 23 years of testosterone, you know, like.
Yeah, well, in the joke I said like, the issue is like they just the men that transition to women, like they're so good, they break all the records, like, and they're all doing like the swimming and like fucking, you know, weightlifting and UFC. It's like there's no trans chess players, is there? You know, like it's a different thing. Like if we had some uncoordinated blokes transition and go over and like be really mediocre in women's sport, I think it would balance it out. But it's always like a pro cyclist transitions and then just goes into pro women's cycling. You know, we need to send some more unco blokes over the hill.
Yeah.
I played soccer with plenty of guys in high school who could have played with the women and just got pumped. You know? We're sending over too many champions.
I reckon like the way that we solve this issue, right, is we just give them like their like you know, they can have their own like Olympics, like
the Trans Olympics.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Why not?
Don't think it's gonna work.
Because then it's all on an equal playing field, and it'd be like everybody from all over the world. And surely there's enough to do do the 100-meter sprint.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think they should let them do it, right? But everyone else can dope.
Roid up.
Yeah. I think the Olympics would just be better if everyone was on roids anyway, to be honest.
Yeah.
I wish we could have that, like the sober version, and then because you know how bodybuilding has that, like natural bodybuilding, and then they have like the real bodybuilding.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, like it's like when an actor just gets jacked for a film in like 6 weeks, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I got a nutritionist." It's like, yeah, you just took heaps of steroids, dude.
Yeah.
Like steroids are they work. There should be like a steroid and a non-steroid for every sport.
Yeah.
And just watch like people go absolute like steroid like rugby league would be crazy.
Yeah.
They'd be so angry. They'd be punching on in the tunnel.
It would be great.
Yeah.
Imagine every state of origin.
Oh my god.
It'd bring back the biff. It'd be there.
Yeah. Have the fans on roids as well. You have to be on roids to go watch as well. The whole place is just punching on.
Guys, if you could get your phones there, we'll scan your tickets and give you a roid.
Yeah.
Everybody, the security just handing out mouth guards.
Yeah, that'd be sick, dude.
We went and saw, like, me and Hugh, like, those up there's gloves. We got these gloves at this Tim Zoo fight, right? And
oh, cool.
It was the weirdest thing, right? In the last round, this, like, fight broke out in amongst the crowd. And, like, to the point where, like, these two families are going at it. The cops run in, and the crowd starts going at it you know, like, they're punching the cops. Like, the cops are punching the crowd. The people
really?
are punching back at the cops. Fucking unbelievable, right? But it's round 10 of the Tim Zoo fight. And you're like, where do I look? There's a fight going on here, which is, like, cops versus families. And Tim Zoo up in the arena.
Yeah.
That happens a
lot. You got 2 screens going, brother.
Yeah, it was like a 2-for-1 that we didn't pay for.
That happens a lot, though, with the fight. You know, a lot of white-collar fights, white-collar boxing, like, you know, you do it for charity or whatever.
Oh, like the corporate fighter.
Yeah.
I had a mate do that,
That kicks off a lot.
Does it?
Yeah, well, because people go in there blind, and everyone's stood, like, going, yeah, you know, like when you're watching football and you kick the ball in your mind, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and you've got blokes doing that, and then something gets said, and it's, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? And then it goes off.
Yeah.
Off.
Oh.
Yeah,
and it's for like little Tim who's autistic. It's raising money for him, and it just kicks off.
Fucking oath, dude.
Just quickly, what do you think Paul Gallen would look like all roided up?
Paul Gallen.
I mean, poor Paul Gallen. Dude, that guy would have so much CTE at this point in his life. He could probably smell colours, that poor bloke. Like, he wouldn't know what's going on. Did you see he's fighting 2 blokes in one night?
Why?
Coming up?
He's a machine.
Why?
Oh.
Mate, he's too tough for his own good. Just because you can take that much damage does not mean you should.
No.
I'm my like nightmare is getting headbutted by Paul Gallen because
Oh. Dude, he just doesn't go down. He's like made of steel.
Yeah.
But like, can you imagine how much brain damage he has? Professional rugby league career transitions into boxing career.
Yeah.
Like fucking hell.
His next transition, they should just give him a bunch of roids and he's our Arnold.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Paul Gallen? Really? Interesting.
I think it went to his forehead.
Oh, dodgy pre-workout. Hey, when that happens.
Sick. Yeah. Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
That happens.
Can't help it. Who do you like in the UFC then? Because
Well, mate, what about your man Paddy the Baddy?
if you had a daughter and she was dating like a UFC fighter, say your daughter was dating Paddy the Baddy,
Yeah.
like how do you think that would go down?
Well, it'd be confronting.
Yeah.
You know, I want my daughter coming home with some sort of like an accountant or a fucking nerd.
Yeah.
You know, not a cage fighter.
Not someone who can kick your ass either.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a daunting thing, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, this bloke could fuck me up.
Yeah, you like laughing at all these jokes. Like, go on, Paddy. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, and he's
You're
like,
so funny.
He's like, what?
Yeah.
What? Scousers don't get knocked out. Your daughter's fit. What? What? Yeah.
Just fucking doing a bit of jiu-jitsu upstairs with your daughter.
Oh yeah, rear naked choke.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
You walk in and he's saying, I'm just teaching her how to grapple.
Yeah. That's a worry actually. If you had a daughter, them having like a partner who you know would fuck you up like that, you don't want that.
Because in my mind,
do
right,
not
if
want
I have
that.
it, like if I had a daughter and she brought home a guy, you would want to have like it'd be a little bit of peace of mind if you just knew, even though you're like 40 or 50 at this point, that you could still fuck up the boyfriend.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's
it's
still
just good to
banging
have
her.
up your sleeve, isn't it?
He's still putting his penis in her though. You can beat him up, but he's still putting his penis in her.
Yeah, but at least you've still got something. Yeah, but if he brings back a UFC fighter, you're fucked. Imagine your daughter brings home Khabib.
Yeah, it's a tough one. How do you fucking maintain superiority?
Yeah, this kid wrestles bears.
Dude, you got to give him a look, or maybe like you just got to whisper in the dinner table, like, I'll fucking sue the shit out of you or something. Like, you got to threaten him with something else.
You can't touch me.
Yeah, I know you're on a
you
work
can't
visa.
touch me.
Yeah, I know you're on a work visa. You fucking touch me, I'm calling everyone.
That's
like,
over.
Yeah,
Oh, because you went to watch the UFC, didn't you? On your
Yeah, I went to the last pay-per-view in Dallas.
Oh man, that's so cool. So
Yeah.
Billy referenced it before. He said his holiday. It was a full period away in the States. It felt like you were there for
yeah, I was there for like
forever.
a month, yeah.
Man, so good.
Yeah, it was fucking fun.
Were you always planning to go for the UFC, or was it a happy accident?
Kind of both. Like,
Yeah.
we were always going to America regardless.
Mm.
And then we were like, let's see if the UFC, if we can go to it. And it lined up. Fuck, it was fun. But like, the weirdest thing in America, you can't gamble. Like,
Yeah.
they don't have sports bet and
Strange
stuff.
that.
It's fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing. But yeah, it's fucking fun.
Mm.
Like, you full on like hear the punches and the kicks and shit. Like,
yeah.
when someone gets dropped, you're like, oh,
Shit.
yeah. It's absolutely sickening. But no, it was fun. The
Yeah.
fans are rabid, like you were saying before, though. Like, if you wanted to punch on with someone in the car park,
Yeah.
you could very easily
Yeah.
achieve that.
Well, everyone's fucking like I said, everyone's blind and coked up and that. Like,
Yeah.
it's an environment that kind of
And everyone thinks they know a little bit about mixed martial arts.
it's a fighting environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
What's the culture difference like between the Aussies and the Americans, do you reckon?
Dude, the Americans, it's just like, it's they don't have like the sarcasm thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't like how we're like always ripping on ourselves and laughing at ourselves. They don't do that.
Yeah.
They have AR-15s though.
Yeah. Yeah, they got the guns. They're just fucking a bit over the top, really.
Yeah.
Like, my mate bumped into someone in this pub in Nashville, and the guy goes, "We've got guns here. How about I take you out the front and fucking show you?" And it's like, that's so aggressive so quickly. You know what I mean?
That's yeah.
Where do you, like, you've just gone straight to 10, mate. Where do you go if I, like, fuck your wife?
Yeah.
How could you threaten us more? You just threatened to kill us. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Just stuff like this where you go like...
That's how you could deal with a UFC fighter taking your daughter and actually get a gun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get a big gun. Just put it on the table while you're having your veggies.
At the like, because in Dallas, right? Like, aren't they? Doesn't everyone carry? Like, you can carry on the.
Isn't it like what's it called, carrying conceal or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can they
shit
do
like
that
that.
into the event, or they can't?
No, a lot like most bars and stuff say no weapons on the outside.
Bro, that's in like it's like Donna, I got my keys, I got my phone, got my wallet. Oh shit, forgot the pistol.
Yeah,
Like it's fucking ridiculous, isn't it?
I just
I forget me vape now and I lose me mind. Fuck, I forgot me Glock.
yeah, I just love the energy of like going to the shops to pick up milk with a Desert Eagle on your hip. Just going like, I'm getting this milk at all costs. Okay, yeah, do not get between me and this 3 liters of full cream milk, or you'll fucking regret it.
I hope these fucking lactose fairies ain't trying to get my fucking milk.
Yeah,
It's weird, man.
dude, it's fucking bizarre. And like just stuff like what was I gonna say? Like, I don't know, they're all they're just so different from each other. Like when you're over there, like you go from state to state, and it's almost like going to different countries.
Yeah.
Like if you went from Brisbane to Adelaide to Perth, I would argue you haven't even really travelled.
Yeah.
Like you're basically in the same spot.
Yeah.
If you were from Brisbane, I'd never know.
Yeah.
Unless you like hit a black guy or something. You know, like we don't really have accents.
Yeah.
Whereas there, like it's completely different.
Fucking hell.
Oh, that stayed in, by the way.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's a clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your Brisbane tour show selling? Oh, very well after that one,
I'm
actually.
actually doing a Brisbane show September 22. Come along, racist.
Oh, fucking hell. What was so you did some stand up while you were there?
Yeah,
What was the American? Was it how you imagined the American audiences to be?
So I've done a few gigs in LA a few years ago.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I did some open mics over there. Yeah. But these are my first like proper gigs. But the audiences are great because stand-up comedy is more of like a mainstream thing over there. But the only thing is like I had to talk a lot slower.
Yeah.
Like they can't really understand us over there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's funny because it's like it doesn't seem like we're that different.
But like you just go to order a coffee and you'd be like, oh, could I just get one iced Americano, please?
What?
And they'd be like, what the hell was that? And like, it's like when a when a Scottish guy comes here and like orders a coffee, Australians aren't like, what are you, a fucking alien? Jesus Christ. Like, you know, like it's like they just don't travel, Americans.
No.
Like,
Well, why would you?
Yous are bad for that though. Like no cunt understands me ever. And
Really?
it's a fucking nightmare sometimes. It's like, bro, I'm ordering a cappuccino. Like, what? Why do we need to make this so hard? You know?
yeah.
And then I'll get nervous about the fact that I know you haven't understood me.
Yeah.
So then I say it again. And then
Yeah.
it's like by the third time, I'm just like, blah, 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 and then, you know, I get a fucking cup of tea.
Yeah.
My argument to you,
You just got to fucking drink
like,
it.
Yeah. Fuck.
Why would you travel if you're American, right? Because the average, like the life expectancy, I think is like 70 something, and like there's 50 to something states, right? And the time that you can start remembering and recalling memories and actually having a good time in America, you need like you're 21 at least, right? So like if you're going to one state a year, that's your whole life gone.
Yeah, I just think culturally they're like not particularly curious about the world.
It depends if they want to bloody give them some freedom now, doesn't it?
Yeah,
They're fucking curious then.
Dude, yeah. It's so funny, like, yeah, they're just so aggressive. Like, they're the nicest guys, but like, they're so lovely until like you just accidentally bring up a particular topic, like race or guns or something. Like, I was in New Orleans and we came out of this bar and this white couple were like, "You guys were having so much fun." Like, 'cause we were just drunk dancing, like just being absolute pelicans. And he's like, "Oh, you guys are having so much fun." And we were chatting to these guys, the most lovely couple ever.
Yeah.
And I said, mate, oh, geez, we're clearing out these dance floors of black people because, like, we're just so embarrassing, mate. Like, we just look like absolute pelicans up there. I'm just joking around. And this guy just looks at me and goes, good.
Was he from Brisbane?
Yeah, I think so. But, like, stuff like that would just happen where, like, mid-convo, you're like, oh, okay. All right, moving on. Moving on. Like, and, like, it's just weird.
It's
like,
still, it's just backwards still, isn't it? A lot of it still is fucking just behind the times as well. And my biggest problem with America is I feel like we're just shitting on America here, but
I'll say something positive after this.
is that
let's do a positive each other.
is their God Is religion and country is the same thing.
Yeah.
God is America, America is God, and I think that's and capitalism as well. And it's like a fucking trifecta of unhappy people and homeless junkies.
Yeah. Oh, the homeless over there are not chill.
No.
Dude, like.
It is well, okay.
Where are they getting the energy?
Right,
That's what I want to know.
Let's go through this train of thought.
Hold on.
I'm coming
That's
out
a
to say
clip.
something.
The homeless over there are not chill.
Do you know what's funny? Like, Billy, I'll come back to a positive at the end of this because I think this
let's
is
keep
worth
shitting
saying.
on it. Let's keep shitting on it.
Is it's only ever the rich people in America and like that ever come out and say something nice about the homeless. They're always like, oh, we should put in more homeless rights like in California. Until now, there's too many. And now they're like, okay, oh no, I think now we've got a problem, but they've put in through too many grants. Do you reckon that's the case?
Oh, I think it's just completely out of control.
Yeah.
LA and Austin, it's like, it's not safe on those streets. Like, and like cunts are just like, they're just so aggressive. They're just like screaming at telegraph poles and shit. Like in Austin, we were leaving our hostel. So we're walking out the front door. Yeah. There's a guy just standing by the door and he's every couple of minutes or like 30 seconds, he would just start twitching uncontrollably and screaming. But you didn't know when he was going to go off. So, like, it's like Russian roulette walking past this guy. And,
Comes like an egg timer.
Yeah. My mate Vol was terrified because he got, like, harassed by another homeless guy.
Yeah.
And, like, you would just go one at a time. And you're just walking past this guy going, holy fuck. And then he would just do nothing. You're like, oh, thank God. Oh. And then the next guy, you're like, holy fuck. And he'd be like, like, and he's just fucking... limbs going everywhere. And it's so scary because it's not like when you're getting like followed by one of these homeless guys, it's not like this guy's going to mug me because he wants to, or this guy's going to, stab me because he wants to, or because he's a bad guy. They're just insane.
Yeah.
They might think you've said something to them.
Yeah.
Like they're not even in this world.
I think a big problem is, isn't it? And I've said this before, if I was homeless, I would be on heavy drugs.
Oh, I mean, take the edge off.
Why else? Like honestly though, like you're living on
it's their weekend too.
You're living you're living on the fucking street. Put a needle in your arm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get it. Like if it's like, well, no one gives a fuck about us being out. Yeah, some woman didn't give me donuts earlier because she said I'll just use it to buy crack. I may as well just get me some crack.
Yeah, 100%. Take out the middleman.
Fucking 100%.
But it's weird, like they have so much pride in their country on like such a grand scale. There's just some neighborhoods where there's just litter everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere, and it's like they're like, I'll bleed for this flag. It's like, would you mind putting your cup in the bin for this flag? Yeah. it's like, hey, I ain't no queer.
Here's a positive. Now here's the positive here. Like,
let's do a couple positives.
This is a silver lining. Because what I love about the Americans, right? Like, fucking don't play the sad music. We have buttons here, and Jack always touches the buttons, and it pisses me off because he'll play like sad music every time, like we're talking.
America, the land of the free.
Yeah.
The home of the brave.
So what I love about the Americans is that I feel like I was saying to you this week, I was like, Australians and English are very cynical. You say if you have an idea, right? And you go, oh, I have this idea. I want to, fucking do something great. And they're like, Aussies will be like, yeah, I don't know if that's going to work, mate. Yeah, have you thought about this? Where Americans are like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And I think that level of optimism is why they were able to send, rockets to the moon.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So that's a good positive. Optimism. Yeah. I will say that most of them are just very hospitable. Yeah. They're like fucking lovely. Yeah. As long as you're white. But, but
just don't be a non-white Muslim.
Yeah. Good place to be a straight white male, I reckon, Texas.
Yeah.
But no, they are very lovely, and they are very, enthusiastic and chatty. I find them to be fucking awesome, but then like every couple of days I'd say when they're a fuckwit, it's like they really go for it. And sometimes it can overshadow the loveliness of the other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't got anything nice
they
to
do
say,
everything
really.
bigger and better. So
my mate Maddie said, she goes, Americans are the best and the worst people you'll ever meet. And I think that's like a pretty good way to
that is, like, don't get me wrong, like, we've got American listeners and viewers. Sorry, guys.
Love you, you bloody,
you.
you seppos.
Yeah, he's a really
No,
nice.
I've been there 3 times. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
I've been there
I fuck
heaps.
with it.
I've been there heaps.
It's just a kooky place. We just culturally don't mesh with them that well. Like with how
Did
we
they
sort
think you were from London?
One guy thought I was English,
Yeah.
and it fucking pissed me off.
Yeah.
dude.
It's funny that. It is like the Australian accent and the Cockney accent is quite similar.
Yeah.
No, do you reckon?
It is for
I think it
me
is to them,
for me
yeah.
a palm. Yeah.
Because I feel like when we
For
met
a palm.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that sounds like a weird comparison
No,
because we don't
it-
sound like Mick Jagger, do we? Like we don't sound that Cockney. Come on.
No, but there's like an element to it. Like I'm from the north of England. You sound like you could all be the same. If you ask me, you Cockney airbits.
Yeah,
And
I'll
it's
go in on
probably
that.
it's probably the first fleet of people who came over. Probably all Cockneys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could go in on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you take that.
Who knows what these Americans are hearing?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Americans when you guys are talking and they're like, "Ah, I think they're from London. Then I start talking, they're like, the fuck is that guy saying?
Yeah.
It's quite funny the Paddy the Baddie thing we were talking about before. Like now people like hear my voice and go, oh, Paddy the Baddie.
Yes.
Like whereas I used to be like, from Liverpool, you know, the home of the Beatles.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
that's an old reference point now.
Yeah.
So at least we've got the Baddie.
You
Good on you,
always
Pad.
changes in Australia if you get famous, right? Because like, listen to Russell Crowe's. Listen to all the famous actors in
Actors are
Australia.
different
and
though,
they
aren't
I
have
think
they?
it's because they've lived in LA for so long.
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you heard the One Direction guys? The way they sound now.
I heard one of them.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, man.
One of them. What happened? Are they not friends anymore? Those lads. One of them was running his mouth about Zayn.
Oh my god.
Is
Look-
this something we need to dive into?
Look, we can.
I can't believe it.
Look, we
Sorry.
look.
Cut it.
Look, let's get into this shit, right? All I'm saying is Harry's out there creating banger after banger now.
We love Harry.
Right? We love Harry Styles.
yep.
We love
Poster on
Harry
the
Styles.
Mate, I'm so sick of Harry Styles is like well actually has he done the best?
He's just too cool, man.
He's
The-
like a style icon.
The reason he's done the best is the other ones came out of it and were like, Ed Sheeran, can you write us some songs? And then didn't do shit themselves and carried on that pop approach. Whereas he kind of he's like a rock star doing pop music. You know what I mean?
He's his own
And his
thing.
albums are like, don't get me wrong, he's probably got the best fucking writers on the planet who's writing with. But his albums are all good. Like, I'm gonna go and see him when he's over here. I like the dude.
You could have been in One Direction, Jack.
Oh,
Tell Billy. This is a good story.
Oh, really?
This is a good yarn.
Oh fuck it! Here
well,
we go.
don't start it like that. I couldn't have been in One Direction. So what happened was I was gonna go on the X Factor,
That year.
and I got through. I don't know if it was that year. Let's not let the truth get in the way of a good story. It was that year. I think I was 14. No, I was going on it, and then I'd send because I was in a band, and it was like, and then someone told me to apply, and I'd sent like a video, and it got through. You go through like 2 rounds before you even get in front of the judges.
Oh, okay.
And then they booked me to go like on a Sunday at the O2 Arena in London, and then my
Whoa.
missus said to me, "Don't do it because if you do it, you will never have respect again because you'll always be the guy who did the talent show." And then I never did
Yeah.
it. And then I could have been in One Direction. But so like I just never
Do
done
you
it.
regret not doing it?
When my big band at home ended, I regretted it then because I was like, fuck, maybe I should have done. I know a guy who works on The Voice out here, and you know, come on, what's his name?
Boy George.
Boy George. He'd like shown Boy George a video of me singing, and he was like, I'll tell him to come on the show.
Cousin.
Yeah,
Sick.
he's a relation of theirs, Boy George.
Oh,
No, my grandma claims this. This
Yeah.
is my grandma's story.
yeah, right.
She's massive whore.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, but I wouldn't do it because it still feels like.
I think
sacrilege.
maybe, but that was back when X Factor was like kicking it.
Yeah, true. It's not the same anymore, is it?
No.
And it's a good thing. It's not the same, but it's like the internet comedian thing, right? And we had this conversation with Alex, didn't we? We've had it with Pat. It's like you can create an audience for yourself through TikTok and YouTube,
Yeah.
or you can slog it out in the clubs. But really,
Yeah.
who's better off at the end of it? Because if you blow up on TikTok or you've been playing gigs for 5 years or whatever,
Yeah.
if you get into the same place, it's like
Yeah, it's sort of like
it's the old school
sort of
way
like,
of thinking.
7 ways to skin a cat type
Yeah,
situation.
because we have this even with like
You're-
musicians,
you're-
because there's people who've never
Yeah.
played a gig.
I just
We've
want
got
to give
songs
credit
out,
where
you know
credit's
what I mean?
due.
Yeah.
Really, I think you're really clever because you've tackled like your industry from both ends, right? And I think you're doing it the best way.
Well, you sort of have to, like, unless you. Well, no, you don't have to. If the industry likes you and like you sort of get certain opportunities early,
Yeah.
or like if you're like an industry darling, you can get 6 stand-up opportunities. To the point where like you could easily, like, there are comedians who make a living touring who don't do any internet stuff, but that's because like the industry loves them and they're like they've got like the right opportunities. But like, yeah, unless you're like an industry darling, you pretty much have to do a podcast or something to try and build some sort of audience.
You've also got you've got one of my favorite podcasts.
Yeah.
You're in my. I think it's like a nice thing to say, but every week, your release day, I listen to that podcast.
Oh, thanks.
And you have, and it's so for being a musician as well. Like, I don't really listen to music all that often, and I have days where my podcasts come out that I like to listen to, and yours is always up there. What I like about you, Billy, and we had this conversation with Pat, is just you telling a story is fucking hilarious, right? You were telling a story, I think you were in the Yarra Valley or something. This was like maybe a month ago or 2 months ago, and you're like, just the way your cadence, the way you speak is just funny. And it's you on your own, and it's still fucking hilarious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I sort of had to develop my own little sort of cadence, like,
Yeah.
because otherwise, like, because I do it by myself,
Yeah.
if I don't sort of hit a note, it gets a bit like, it's just kind of turned into sort of a bit of a ramble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I sort of have to make my own like beats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's honestly really, really good, man. Like,
Yeah.
my missus will be like, what the fuck are you listening to, yeah?
Yeah.
Because it's just like, it's as if I'm on the phone to you and I've just put it on mute, right?
Yeah.
And you're just like, tell me about your fucking shitty weekend.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I imagine that your process, I could be wrong here, but I'm just going to take a stab in the dark. I think you're like the way that you craft your content, I imagine like you're like a good farmer, right? Like you grow, like you write, and then you refine it down. Like, you know, you play your crop and then you sow it, whatever, and then you end up with a good final polished product. And that's what I feel like you do a lot of writing.
For the podcast or for stand-up?
For podcast and for your stand-up. Like, I feel like even for your podcast, like you've done it, you must write.
Yeah. Well, I do a lot of writing for stand-up, and then sometimes stuff will like sort of float in between. Like one week, I didn't have really like, the podcast is pretty dependent on me doing something fucking weird on the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, or like something happening in my week. So some weeks are a bit thin. I remember I had one week where I didn't really have any stories, but I wrote like 5 minutes of stand-up about how I think Pepsi Max is just bullshit.
Yeah.
And then so I just did that on the pod.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it kind of goes back and forth. But with the podcast, like, I'll just have like dot points of like what I want to hit. And it's just like, will be like a 1 A4 page.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, if the notes get too detailed, like, I get too in my own head with it.
Yeah.
And then, like, I'm just reading the notes. I'm not telling the story.
Yeah.
But yeah, with stand-up, I do write a lot. Like, usually I'll write for like an hour each day. I mean, in a fucking perfect world.
Do you write word for word? Do you write a joke word for word?
Yeah, I kind of will just write it. I'll write like 4 pages on something. It's like a little half notebook.
Yeah.
And then I'll take out the bullet points I like, take it to the stage, and then like work on it like that.
Yeah.
But I would say out of the notebook, the notebook's like 100 pages, like 10 pages will go to the stage. And of that 10 pages, like maybe like 4 pages will like be something I keep. Like you got to write shitloads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some days I'll just sit there and you just sit there 45 minutes writing away.
Yeah.
And I'll just get up, close the book and go, that was all garbage. And then you just get on with your day. And I know as you're writing, I'm literally writing going, this sucks. Like, but that's just
This sucks. I hate myself.
Yeah.
Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
You were never a cricketer.
Yeah, I'm just going in on this topic like, this is
Turned
awful.
out it was a suicide note. That's what he was writing.
That was the reason I used that weird analogy, Billy. I just wanted, like, as a farmer, because it just, by the time it gets to the
No, I thought it was
table-
quite eloquent, that
Oh,
analogy,
thank
actually.
you.
Yeah.
It's because he's a farmer. Everything is about the farm.
Yeah.
When I was back on the farm.
But I think it's good, man. Like the giveaway for you though, and the reason I just thought he has to be writing constantly is because occasionally you throw in some good words, and it seems like everything's really like thought out, and it's quite clever. And I'm like, either he's switched into something I don't understand, or he is working his fucking ass off.
Whoa. Okay. That's good that it comes across that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you've
I don't know.
You're giving well, I think it's good because you're giving the craft its credit.
Yeah.
Like you're working it.
Yeah, my podcast has to be like a bit more deliberate. Like here, we just like sort of turn the mics on,
Yeah.
and we're just having a bit of bants. Yeah. But like, because I do it by myself, it does need to be a bit more designed. It's less of a podcast. I think of it as more of like a 50-minute comedy show.
Yeah,
that's how I think of it when I listen to it.
Yeah, that's what it's like. Sort of like it's like a television show. It's not really like a podcast.
Mrs. Darcy's baby boy is like that. You telling a story about how much free drugs you were getting after your gigs.
Oh yeah.
You know, like this guy rolled me a blunt last night. It was like a baseball bat.
Yeah,
and I was like listening on the way to work, and I was like, can't wait to see where Billy's going next week.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. Well, that was when I was on tour. It was great because like I would just have these great nights out, and then like the podcast just writes itself.
Are you single?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because there's shit you can't tell otherwise on a podcast.
Oh, I don't really talk about like getting with girls.
No, but I mean like, you're like, yeah, I was nailing this girl.
Oh yeah,
sorry, Claire. You know.
Yeah. Just fucking imagine that. Like your missus finds out you've been cheated on her because you deliberately told the world on a podcast. That's so insensitive.
That's an Andrew Tate move. That.
Yeah.
That's a Tatey move.
Have you seen the new Elvis movie by any chance, Billy? The one that's come out recently?
I have not, but I actually just went to Graceland when I was in America.
Fuck, did you?
Yeah.
Bro, how good was that as a return? I haven't, but I seen where Elvis used to poop. Probably a poor
What's it like? Can we dive into this?
It's fucking... so I'm not even like an Elvis fan. Previous to this, it's fucking unbelievable. His house is like if you gave a 14-year-old $20 million. That's what it's like.
Yeah. Does he have an Astra Holden with a fucking monster truck wheels on it?
No. But there's like a whole museum of like just his cars.
Yeah.
There's a museum of his outfits. But his house is crazy. Like there's carpet on the roof. There's fucking TVs everywhere. He loved telly. Like every room is completely different. There's like a jungle room. There's like the relaxation room. Like it was, you could tell it was just a party house. And it was so cool. You can't go upstairs. Because apparently upstairs was only for Elvis and like his family. And if people came over to visit, they would wait for him downstairs. And then the downstairs, which you do the tour, that was just like all set up like just for partying and having, and like it was crazy. But they gave like, it was a really, you do like the tour with the headset and then it ends at his grave. He's buried on the property. But it was very much like a rose-colored lens view of Elvis's life. Like you would have left that, because I didn't know anything about him previously. So you could have convinced me he was like a sober family man by the end of that tour.
Yeah.
Like they were like, oh, he just died suddenly one day. Absolute mystery. And then like you just Google it, it's like extreme drug overdose. Like married a 14-year-old. There was none of this shit on the tour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But does the movie give more of like
with his daughter? With Priscilla, it's like he just starts seeing her one day, and I think like when I went with my missus Abby, and like I think every man in that room looked at their partner and went, "She's 14 there, you know."
Yeah.
And it's like, let's not talk about the fact she was 14.
Yeah.
When you the reason I brought up the Elvis thing is because there's a scene in the new movie where Elvis is like he's famous, and this is the part where he's overworking himself to death, and he says to his wife, "Did you find out about the girls that are coming through the back door?" like
It's quite a good impression though.
Yeah, I didn't buy that at all.
It was quite good though.
Thank you. But like,
did you feel like you were at Graceland?
Oh man, take me back. Yeah.
Cheers. But I mean, there's like he like Elvis is the only person I think that was like getting away with you know.
Oh, before phones and stuff, he must have been playing up like it was nobody's business. If you're on tour in fucking Hawaii and the missus is back home in Memphis with no internet.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you don't catch something, play on.
Yeah.
He's fucking Elvis.
Yeah.
He's only human. Like they're literally chasing him down the street.
Kind of like you in comedy, really, isn't it?
A little bit. Except instead of girls, it's 21-year-old white guys.
Andrew,
I'm 26. Thank you.
Nice.
Is his name? Sorry, is it Dice Clay?
Dice Clay, yeah.
Who once famously said, "It's not cheating if you're in another state." I don't know.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Dude, I saw Dice Clay at the Comedy Store in LA, and he looked at this woman in the front row and goes like, "Yeah, you're a Wednesday."
Oh.
And she's like, "What does that mean?" And he goes, "You're too hot to take out on a Monday or a Tuesday, but you're not hot enough to be a Friday or a Saturday. You're a Wednesday." And she's just like sitting there in the front row. She's like, "Oh, okay." It was fucking
That's
wild.
It's a dangerous game to play.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know about Dice Clay?
Mm.
So Dice Clay was like, he put on this character, right, where he was basically being a Andrew Tate, doing what Andrew Tate does, but like 30 years ago. And he did this in character of those kind of Italian men that were like, you know, all about going out and sleeping with women. And he did this character, and it became really popular to the point where it became like his entire identity. And he would go up on stage, and that's all he does. Like this inversion of being this, you know, sleazy Italian dude.
Yeah, but he would do like absolutely filthy comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good comedy though.
Yeah, he's like one of the greats.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like doing stadiums and shit in the 80s. He was like iconic for a bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Check him out.
He
Still
did this
still
once.
alive?
Yeah.
He did this one special where he came out and he did a nursery rhyme, and he's like, Mary, Mary, what contrary? Why's your pussy so damn hairy? And like, that's the first. Now he's into these comedy specials.
Yeah.
Great.
And he would do all this weird shit where he'd like smoke a cigarette behind his back and stuff. Like, he's just an absolute character.
Yeah.
Do you try and shock people early on when you go on stage? Like, is the joke? It's not going past that line. That's the line. You know what I mean?
No, the complete opposite. I try to soft launch him.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
if I'm doing something a bit weird, or edgy,
Ooh.
as they say, I would do like 5 minutes of like normal material before I would do that. Because you want them, if they like you, they'll go with you long further.
Yeah.
And if they like you and they know you're a good bloke from the first 6 minutes, and then you say, "Oh, what about these bloody trans kids playing sport?" They're like,
"Oh yeah."
Then they'll go, instead of being like, "You fucking piece of shit," they go, they'll go, "All right, let's just hear what he has to say because we've got we like this guy."
Yeah,
we know he's a good guy.
You've built trust up with them.
Yeah, you've built a bit of trust up.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just come out and they have no idea who you are and you go, "Fuck these trans kids, what the hell?" Everyone's like, "Dude, what the fuck?" Like, you know what I mean?
Room starts laughing at you.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the complete opposite, I would say.
Yeah.
Some people, if like, I'm not a particularly like edgy comedian. Like,
No.
Yeah.
I know I've been talking about this trans children.
Yeah, I feel like this transgender kid issues came up a few times though.
Well, it just happened to me on Saturday night, so it's fresh. But like most of my material is not offensive or edgy in any way, so it's not really an issue for me. But if some guys who are like do all dark humor, they might do like a really fucked one up top just to be like, this is what it is.
Yeah, that's what
you know what I
Jim
mean.
did.
So yeah, some people would do that, but not me personally.
Well, because I was going to say, when we saw Jim Jeffries at the Enmore,
Yep.
came out, said his worst jokes at the start, like just
I think he had the Holocaust joke 3 minutes in.
came out swinging, and then it was like, okay, now we've heard the most crazy shit. Everything after that was to like,
Yeah, but also that's because everyone in the theater likes him.
yeah,
So like, if you're just performing for like 100 strangers on like a normal night, and none of them know who you are or are there to see you, you do have to sort of like build a relationship with them in that on the spot. Whereas if you come out like and everyone there's like listen to like every episode of my podcast, they like get me on a
They get around you.
they get around me. Name of the pod. You know what I mean? So you get a bit more.
That was really good, that mate.
So you get a bit more, get a bit more rope to play with because they know you're not a piece of shit.
yeah. Jim did this thing, right? Which
I love the way you call him Jim.
Yeah.
James.
Yeah.
James, come on.
I was having a beer with Jim the other day, and
I love Jim.
Jim
He's
Jeffries?
the best. Anyway, so we saw when we were seeing Jim.
Yeah.
There was this moment where there was like a heckler, right? And I felt bad for the heckler because he went on like a 10-minute tangent and just like ripped on this guy and like went through this guy's whole life. And he's like,
I seen him do that.
And this guy looked like he was about to fucking cry, and he's like right behind him on the thing. And he was like with it at the start. He's like, oh yeah, Jim's ripping on me. Like, oh, this is great. And by the end of it, he's like,
it was murder. He committed murder. But you know what? I think that's planted, like in the sense that so his bit in it is he talks about Rob Schneider. Is it Rob Schneider?
Yeah.
Who's in the Adam Sandler films? You know, you can do it.
Oh, yeah.
And he says, oh, it's with me, mate. And he says his name. And he says, oh, you know, it's the you can do it guy. And then one guy went, you can do it. And then 10 minutes was on that.
Yeah.
But I reckon that happens every single night.
Did he do the thing where he lies on the ground?
Yeah.
I saw him do it in Newcastle.
Oh, did you? Yeah,
it's a thing.
Jim, get a new bit. Jesus, but it's designed. It's so smart because someone's gonna do it.
Also,
but then
after that, no one else wants to yell at.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
true.
There was this one guy who was on the other side of us, and he after this 10-minute fucking murder, and this one guy must have had the biggest set of balls on this guy because he was just like the 10-minute finish. Bill, like Jim went back to his set, and this one guy goes, "You can do it!" Like so loud that everybody in the theater heard it, and like Jim decided to ignore him. But I was like, man, you just watched this other guy get absolutely slaughtered, and you're like, nah, it's my turn now. And I was like, fuck.
The balls.
Yeah.
And that was Pat Doherty.
Yeah.
How did the snake thing start with Pat Doherty?
Okay, so... Well,
because even Hugh was calling him a fucking slithering snake the other week.
Nice one, Hugh. Well, when you start a podcast, you don't realise that anyone's actually going to listen.
Yep, this is a problem.
So I was quite reckless in the early episodes. And I started this running joke, like, obviously Pat's one of my best mates, but I started this running joke that he's like an absolute piece of shit. And I was like, Pat Doherty, I referred to him as a snake dipped in oil, just the slipperiest cunt on the planet. And I'm like, I saw Pat Doherty beat the shit out of an orphan last week. And there was one gig where Pat like had a go at a guy and he turned out to be disabled. So then that was on the pod. And
did that happen?
Yeah. It's happened to me like twice before as well. Sometimes you don't know because it's dark and then... You know, the bloke's got no legs. So it's like, fuck.
And he was sitting down. How was I supposed to know?
Yeah, there's a bit of that, yeah. So, you know, has to the job. And anyway, so I'm saying this thing.
You wouldn't know if he was even just wearing jeans, would you?
No, exactly. So if anything, it's, you know, throw a hand up next time, mate.
Wear shorts.
Do something. But put up a sign that says, I have no legs. That'd be handy. But anyway, so on the podcast, I'm doing this thing. Pat Doherty's a piece of shit, all of this. Just like a little running joke.
Yeah.
And anyway, it was all fun and games. And then when I did the Sydney Comedy Festival, it was like 150 people. And I go, oh, welcome to the stage. Pat's opening for me. And I go, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Pat Doherty, like on the back announce mic. Mate, I've not heard boos like this in all my life. Like the abuse and the boos, and people are hissing at him, going like, you fucking piece of shit steak. And that's when I was like, oh, this might have got a bit out of hand. But
I think Hugh is actively in Pat's DMs.
Yeah, people
with
messaging me like, with the snake emojis and stuff. Nice. And but now I think the boos are starting to subside a bit now.
Yeah.
But there was like 2 Sydney comedy festivals where like he just got booed onto stage, like aggressively.
I want to ask you, because Pat told me that he got you into comedy. Is this true? Pat told me.
I fucking hate this guy.
Pat, it's not looking good, lad.
Pat was like, I told Billy to get into
I met him in comedy. Like I was already doing it.
If you ask Pat, he invented the fucking
comedy.
Mate, if you ask Pat, I was created
Sydney
from
to
his...
surf or whatever it's fucking called.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you ask Pat, I was created from his like left rib, like that piece of shit. But no, Pat did not get me into comedy. But I met him pretty early on, and we became like mates because he ran a room in Manly, and I lived in Manly. So
always been friends.
Always been buds.
Did he get you your first gig at least? Maybe that was what he said.
Yeah, he gave me some spots. I would say he gave me a lot of work early on.
Yeah, he actually had a cigarette in his mouth, and he's like, "The kid owes it all to me."
Yeah, there's a bit of that. I'll let Pat have that because of the aforementioned abuse I've introduced into his life.
It's good though. You know,
That
Yeah,
might have been what you said, Pat. I'm sorry.
man,
Misquoted.
you're lying,
Dude, that's
bastard.
like my fucking roommate Macca pulls that shit all the time. We were at this house party in Bondi, and this girl comes up to me like so hot.
Yeah.
And she goes, I was just talking to your friend Macca, so you're a comedian. I go, yeah. She goes, so the way he explains it, he writes the jokes and you perform them. And I go,
oh, that's good.
And I just think, fucking hell, Macca, you
That's
piece of
good.
shit. He's telling everyone at the party he writes my jokes.
Oh my
That's
God.
so good.
Yeah. Like, he's like that though. Like, I'll just like, if I was at the pub with him a couple months ago, and then like I come over, he works in like fire safety, like he installs like sprinklers and stuff.
Oh, good on you, Macca.
Yeah, great stuff, Macca. You know, keeping us all safe.
Sprinkling the truth around.
Yes, yeah, he's not doing a bit of that. And anyway, I come over and he's talking to these two girls, and I come back with the beers, and I just hear her say, "Oh my God, you're a fireman." And I'm just like, fuck. So, and then it's like, oh, here we go. So now Mac is a fireman, and I'm like going in on this. You know, I'm probably a dolphin trainer or some shit.
Yeah,
like,
you've got to have it. You've got to. You're a cricketer. You're a professional cricketer.
Professional cricketer, admin assistant, whatever works for you.
That's
mate.
what
But,
always worries me. You know, if like you bullshitted someone about a job, and then like you became really good friends with them, or like say like you told that chick you're a lion tamer.
Yeah,
and then you start seeing it, and then you're like, "Fuck, I'm not a lion tamer."
Well, yeah,
and then you've got to become a lion tamer.
Yeah, I always would just tell girls I was an admin assistant because when I was working an office job and a comedian at the same time, if I said just comedian and then later on I was like, "Oh yeah, I work this office job during the day," it was kind of like I was deceiving them a little bit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'd sold them a bit of a like. I felt like I was kind of selling them a lie by being like, "Oh, I'm this big comedian." And then like 3 hours later being like, oh, I pay my rent with administration work.
Yeah.
You know, so I would just say I work in admin. It's easier. You know what I mean?
Do you
back my personality?
Do you now say, I'm a podcaster?
No, I think the term podcaster is fucking gross.
It's so funny. Like I was out in the Goldie with my mate Mamadou. Shout out Mamadou. And I was talking to these fellas, and they were like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I'm always like, "Oh, I'm a musician."
Yeah.
But I was like, "Oh, I do a podcast." And my mate went, "It's not that cool, you know, Jack." He went, "It's cool to say the musician." I went, "Okay."
Yeah, definitely go musician.
And, "Oh, do you do that like full time?" "No, I work in construction."
See that and there it is.
And
that's the moment I hate.
That's the deceive.
Yeah.
I've deceived the
world. So that's why I hate that moment. So I would just go admin.
Yeah.
And then 100%. Later on, if they're like, "Oh, wait, are you a stand-up comedian?" That's like a little bit of a treat.
Yeah.
You know, now that's come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, if like I will always want to keep my like. I'm with you, Billy, on this. I want to keep my anonymity. Like, I don't want anybody to know what I do, because if you tell anyone you play music, right? I imagine it's the same for comedy. They're like, there'll be some guy that'll be there. He's like, "Oh, play us a song."
Yeah,
tell us a joke.
Tell us a joke, mate.
Oh, you think you're funny, mate?
Yeah.
Have you got a go-to joke if somebody says that to you?
No, because I don't really do like one-liners and knock-knocks. Like, I do like 3-minute things.
Yeah.
But I always just say I'm off the clock or whatever. I got this one joke that like kind of works as like a one-liner that I'll do sometimes, but only if people like fucking hassle me.
I'm gonna hassle you.
Yeah. All right, I'll do it. But so this is like the only sort of one-liner I have that I'll tell to people at pubs. So did you guys see recently that we had the first openly gay men's soccer player in the A-League?
Yeah.
This is a real thing 6 months ago.
Yeah.
The first openly gay men's soccer player. But a lot of people don't know the same week we had that, we also had the first openly straight women's player. So just like a massive week for football, you know? So that's like why I only like
that's all right. That's good.
One-liner type
that's
situation.
good. That deals with people in the pub. Get them.
Yeah.
And
also it's a bit like fuck off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's not like a joke.
Yeah.
You know? But if you're like a one-liner guy who can like pump them out, I would.
Mm.
You know, who's like in my mind, like, there's not many great one-liner guys. Like
Tom Wickham, I seen.
Tom Wickham's like a
fucking hilarious.
He's like a one-liner guy.
He's in London at the minute as well. He's doing shows in London.
I think he is.
Yeah, and he's funny as fucking, man.
Yeah.
Are there many?
Got a suit on as well.
It feels like that's a bit of a dying art. Mitch Hedberg was pretty good at it.
Yeah. So Tom does that, like he'll just do like the one joke and then do like just joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's dying out. I don't know. Like it's blokes that do it. It's sort of its own thing. It's a bit more American in style. But But yeah, I don't know. But people that do it, like, there's this guy, Patrick Galamko, who's sort of like that. But it's just like guys who are really good joke writers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
What happened to theatrical, like, comedy? Because, you know, when you look back on, like, comedy greats and you see, like, we were talking about this, you know, look at Sam Kinison, right? And look at, I always get, like, Robbie or Robin?
So funny.
Robin
Hold
Williams.
on. Right. So he always gets Robbie Williams and Robin Williams mixed up.
I've
Right?
done it since I was a
not
kid.
good.
And it's so funny because I don't understand how, because the two very
They're
different.
not even close.
One's from Stoke, the other one was Mr.
No,
Doubtfire.
I don't get them mixed up in terms of what they look like. I just don't
Right,
get them
so-
named when I say
so-
the name.
Robbie Williams was the comedian.
Yeah, Robbie Williams, right? And like, you know how like their performances when you watch his performance,
Robin Williams
like-
sang Let Me Entertain You.
it's like over the top and kind of this.
You're saying like the physicality of it.
Yeah, and even your Scottish fella.
Oh, Billy Connolly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like the kinds of fiasco. Maybe there was a lot more cocaine in the 70s and 80s.
I think there was, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna fucking go on stage and
Yeah.
give it the beans.
Yeah, I don't know. But that sort of stuff like the more like emotive comedy. I'm trying to think of someone who does it in Australia.
There's a guy who I seen, Sam Kepler or
Sam Campbell.
Sam Campbell. I
Yeah, he's
seen him.
brilliant, yeah.
He's fucking hilarious as well.
Yeah.
He's
He's
hilarious.
people like that. But I don't know, like it's when you do like a big act out or something, it's like awkward when it bombs.
Yeah.
That's why that comedy is so like entertaining, because it's so like it's like high risk, high reward. And when you're doing like the corner of a pub to like 12 people,
Yeah.
if you do like some huge act out pretending to be like a fucking tiger, and then like it just bombs, you just get like standing there,
Yeah.
like out of breath from being a tiger.
Then you're like one of those homeless people you encountered in
yeah,
America.
exactly.
Yep.
Fucking twitching and shit. But yeah, I don't know. Like Australian stand up, I guess, is kind of just a bit like clubbier at the moment. People just sort of stand there and bang it out.
Yeah.
But no, like there's some physical comedians. Like Mickey D does like a lot of act outs. There's a few, yeah.
Right, I think we should start wrapping up anyway, because I feel like we've had
Yeah.
like fucking
How
3
long have
hours.
we done? It's been a bloody while. Oh, fucking oath.
Yeah,
20-4.
yeah.
Bloody hell.
Billy, have you got anything to promote?
I do actually. I am doing a Brisbane encore show, September 22, and I'm on this comedy tour called the Homecoming Tour.
Oh, I've seen that. That looks absolutely awesome.
Yeah,
man.
it's sick lineup. We're doing the whole East Coast, including like Coffs Harbour, Port Macquarie, Brisbane, Sunshine Coast, Newcastle, Sydney, everywhere in between. All that information is in my Instagram bio. Check it out. And my podcast is Get Around Me.
Thank you.
And that's
Thank you
that.
very
Cheers,
much.
lads.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you for Billy Darcy.
Thank you for coming, man.
Hugh's got a
was
big
fun.
hard on behind that camera.
Go on, Hugh. Bash one out for me. You
Bash
fucking,
one out, Hugh.
You little slut, hey?
You monster truck driving slut. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Well
that's
done,
a wrap.
Hamish.